The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few. It's just great.
Charlie Kirk. We are Charlie Kirk. We are Charlie Kirk. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Duke and Dutch Show. Obviously, again, I am by myself. And we've had a bit of a weird schedule lately. And mostly it's because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I felt a little weird about uploading, so was Duke. And this is a little late. His memorial happened on Monday. I'll probably be uploading this Thursday. So we're a couple days late, but better late than never, right? I just want to draw everybody back to the first clip of this
The best part.
Lovely young woman saying that Charlie Kirk could never possibly be a martyr, and it will not galvanize anybody. You should never be so quick to deal with death and judgment, because even the very wise cannot see all ends. And obviously, from the turnout, which is now being reported at 277,000 people, or maybe it's even more than, maybe it's 293, I forget the exact number, but it's 270,000 people were tracked to go to this stadium. Stadium's got a capacity of around 60, 70,000. The overflow stadium can only hold about 20. All these people who wanted to get in to pay their respects to Charlie Kirk. And we covered this a little bit ago, and we were doing it during the memorial service, so we didn't have all the speeches ready, obviously. They saved the best for last and all that, so they say. I just wanted to cover a part of his wife's segment and a part of President Trump's segment. And then I think actually after that, if anyone's going to stick around for it, I'm going to explain a little bit about how this is, not to make it about me, but how it has affected me and how I now feel like I have to speak out a little bit more. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I don't think I'm alone in that. I think this has really lit a fire under a lot of people's asses. And it's really, we'll get into that in a second, but I'll give the floor over to Erica Kirk, who is going to really embody the spirit of Christianity.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man, on the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
When people are frightened, and I understand that.
Ah, Russell Brand. Ah, I own Russell Brand's clip. That makes total sense then. I actually like Russell Brand, so. He's actually very articulate. He's very well spoken, but what I think Erica Kirk did here, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter especially say, this is the wrong move. You shouldn't practice forgiveness. Your husband was murdered in cold blood, which, me personally, I think kind of is all true, but Charlie was a Christian. Erica is a Christian. And I don't want to disparage how a widow grieves. And if this gives her comfort to do this, and this is in line with, obviously the faith of Jesus Christ, and she's willing and able to do that, then I don't really have any problems with it. I know a lot of people have. A lot of people have said a lot of bad things about her because she forgave her husband's killer for the sin of taking his life. The only thing I can say about it, just from my own experience, from just me, she's a better person than I am, 100% for sure. I don't know if I could forgive so easily, obviously, but if this helps her get through the grieving process, then yeah, I'm all for it. Why not? And I think for a lot of people to disparage her when you're going through something that is so hard to imagine, and you have to explain to your young children why their father's not coming back, and to exercise this sort of restraint and this sort of, I guess just forgiveness, I think it's huge. Now, on the other hand here, there has been a lot of people riled up about President Donald Trump, who was not so forgiving. And just before we even get into it, I think this is also an equal measure. Nope.
The core of Charlie's message and his basic method never changed. It never really changed. He stayed the same person also. At every campus event, Charlie asked the people who disagreed with him to come forward, and instead of silencing them, he handed them a microphone and let them speak. And he'd convinced so many of them. It was a pretty amazing thing to watch, actually. Shortly before Charlie arrived on campus, the day he was assassinated, a staff member texted him that there were many critics and students who were opposed to his views, and rather strenuously in the crowd. And
you would know that that's true, because they were. Charlie Kirk went into very hostile environments all the time. And I went to college for 4 years, I know. Pretty much everybody in college is left-leaning. It was the indoctrination that we actually went through in high school. I remember I had some government class or something like that. And they actually set us up to register to vote. 90% of the people registered Democrat. 90% of the 18-year-olds in the class registered Democrat. Because of that, I am still a registered Democrat, even though I now view myself as a conservative. But I don't know if I'll ever change my party affiliation, because I believe that my vote will always be counted so long as I vote Democrat in a swing state. Even though, no, not vote Democrat, but my party registration is Democrat, so that could be wrong. That's just my little conspiracy theory. But I voted for Trump the last 2 terms. So, and I didn't vote in 2016. Not that that really matters. It's just,
It actually made him feel good because he wanted to convince them.
Not about
he understood.
me.
He really did. He understood what was right, and he was right about that. A lot of it was based on common sense, by the way. Charlie wrote back to the staff member saying, I'm not here to fight them. I want to know them and love them, and I want to reach them and try and lead them into a great way of life in our country. In that private moment on his dying day, we find everything we need to know about who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I did.
And that's a great I'm going to roll it back a couple seconds here, but that's a great virtue. To not hate the people who disagree with you, but to love them. Or at least have open dialogue with them and not shut them down. It's a virtue that's been lost in our country that not a whole lot of people have. I mean, look at the late night talk show hosts. When's the last time any of them have had a Republican on? Never. Never.
The best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
We thank you.
Now, I know everyone has been accusing Trump here of turning up the temperature, that he could have used this as a unifying moment, as a quelling moment. Everybody can come together. Everyone needs to lower the rhetoric. But personally, to me, and I don't say this with any glee or anything like that, I think it's just too far gone. I really do. I think there's been a portion of the population, mostly on the left, but probably some on the right as well, who've been so radicalized to just hate thy neighbor that I don't know what it would take for there to be a unifying moment. And I think a lot of that probably is the mainstream media's fault, personally. Charlie Kirk was the man who would go out there, he'd have a discussion with anybody. Some people were cordial, some people spit in his face. Yet he was always polite. He always tried to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think, Erica Kirk showed great grace. A level of forgiveness I don't think I could ever do in that certain circumstance. Personally. But I'm going to tell you this real quick, and I don't want to make this about me, but I know a lot of people have kind of said similar things. I was raised Catholic, and I've been baptized, I can receive communion, I've been confirmed, all that stuff. And I've never really felt a closeness to the church or to God or anything like that. And I'm not... But when I saw Charlie Kirk was shot, and I don't even know why. Maybe I do. I don't know. I prayed for him. I hadn't prayed in 20 years, and I prayed for him. I said, let him be okay. Let him make it through this tragedy. And it's not because I agree with everything Charlie Kirk said. I'm not that conservative, even though I kind of identify as a conservative now, but I don't agree with everything conservatives say. I'm probably more of a right-leaning moderate / left-leaning conservative, if that makes any sense. But and listen, Turning Point USA, despite what that ignorant woman said in the beginning of the video, it's going to be stronger than ever. It's going to go on. There'll never be another Charlie Kirk, but there will be other people who will pick up the microphone and speak to the young people and carry on his message. I think his movement it's too powerful to stop. And I think Charlie would like that. But the thing I can't get over, and that I feel for as a father myself, he's not gonna, he can't have a movie night with his kids. He's not gonna take them to the first day of kindergarten. I mean, we endure, but like, it's terrible. His movement will continue. 100%. I think it will be stronger because of his sacrifice, because of his martyrdom, but there are people that he will be irreplaceable to. And that's terrible. It really is. But in his 31 years, he did a lot. I think he brought me a lot closer to God. And I was saying a month and a half ago, something like that, when South Park lampooned him, I said to Duke, who's not here right now, but he has a life, I don't. I said, is Charlie Kirk really important enough for South Park to parody him? Sorry. And I'd watched his interviews before. I knew what he did. But I was completely unfamiliar with how many people he touched and actually how it, touched me. It's a great legacy. It's a great life. It just ended way too soon. So, tonight, even though I'm not so sold on it, I'm going to say a prayer for, his family, his children. I hope God gives them the strength to carry on. And if anybody's still listening this long, I thank you all for watching, because I know it's a late video. We put it out late. We got weird schedules, me and Duke, so we can't always do this stuff together, but I thought it was really important to do. So, catch you in the next one.